It is time for a retro game pickup haul, which comprises of Super Nintendo, Sega Mega Drive, Nintendo Wii, PSP, Dreamcast and more. Let's get into it. Okay, if you're going to the Doncaster retro gaming market this weekend, I'll be there filming. See you guys there, which means there will be a video next week with the Doncaster Gaming Market tour, as well as a brand new haul from that. So we got a lot of good juicy content coming up. And I would ask guys, are you watching this entire video to the end, because I'm eager to see what you guys think. Share some of the games that you've picked up recently in the comment section below. Now, let's kick off with Sega Mega Drive and Two Crude Dudes. Picked this up in CEX for £18. Cartridge and manual, not in the best condition at all. And this for me, it's not the best game either. I to be honest, only picked it up because I found that it's kind of obscure and I've never seen it in CEX before, so I was quite surprised to actually see this title. Typically don't see this out at the gaming markets as much as he's licking me either, so I thought this would be a nice game to kind of kick us off with here. It says here, the once grand city of New York, levelled 20 years earlier by a nuclear strike, is once again under siege. And this time the twisted scientists have mass mutations. Only two crude dudes can stop the invasion. So I'm going to have some fun with that. In fact, guys, I'm going to plonk that right on the shelf right there. Next up, we're going to go Super Nintendo. I finally have a boxed copy of Cannon Fodder, so I'll be selling my unboxed copy. I'm missing manual here. Lots of fun on this with my friend Matt and Danny, my friends Matt and Danny, as a young girl growing up. And believe it or not, I've actually really struggled to find a boxed copy of Cannon Fodder, which seems ludicrous because I could probably resort to eBay, but I kind of like the thrill of the hunt when it comes around to especially Super Nintendo games. So I actually saw this in the £5 game challenge of CEX. What is going on with this cat? And I only paid, I think this was 25 quid, which for a boxed copy isn't that bad. So you might think I wouldn't pay 25 quid for Cannon Fodder, but I didn't think it was too bad. Now this is no particular order, so we're going to jump to a PS4 title. And if you've been staying tuned to my streams predominantly here or on Mixer, you would have seen me go in with some Hunt Showdown, which finally came to PS4. This has actually been out for 2 years on the Xbox. And this is a fantastic game. I've really been enjoying this. It's set in, I think it's 1895 or 1899. So kind of think Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of era. And you pick your hunter, you pick your loadout. And the aim of the game is to collect clues, find a boss, defeat the boss, collect the bounty and take the bounty to the end of the level. But there's lots and lots of difficulties on the way with NPCs in the form of zombies and monsters, and then obviously other people in the server. So I'll be streaming some more of this, hopefully with Reese and Waz. A shout out to them too. I highly recommend you pick yourself a copy up of Hunt Showdown. And gamers, I highly recommend you pick up a copy of 2 Point Hospital. That's right, I picked it up on the Switch as well. I got a free copy on the PS4 from some of the kind of PR teams, and I did want it on my Switch, so for me it was worth buying and supporting the devs and getting it on the Switch. And you've got the 2 expansion packs included with this, which is the 2 Point Hospital Bigfoot and the 2 Point Hospital Pebbly Island. So I am absolutely, I cannot wait. I'm elated to be able to take this bad boy on holiday with me wherever I go. Let me know if you've been enjoying 2 Point. If you've played Theme Hospital on PS1, you'll be very familiar with what to expect from this. And a lot of the developers that worked on Theme Hospital worked on this too, so there's some really nice nods to that classic PS1 game. Got some other pickups here though. I've got a copy of Skate It on the Wii. If you're familiar with Skate, this is Skate but on the Wii, so you've got the kind of use of the nunchucks, the Wiimotes. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to control. It sounds more complex than it actually is, but it's actually a ton of fun being able to utilise the Wii and pull off some gnarly tricks. I think a lot of us have been waiting for a skate type reboot, what with the demise of like Tony Hawk and whatnot. And I thought that had come out then. And I've only paid 99p from a charity shop for this. That's actually a really nice bargain because this is a game series that holds its value. We got more, we got so much more, this is so exciting. Got a really nice hidden gem for you on PS4 as well. Got another 3 Wii games here, in fact another 4 Wii games. We got Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City. Not played this particular version, so if anybody can kind of fill me in on how good or bad this is. I haven't ever played a bad Animal Crossing game, that's why I kind of picked it up, because I thought, you know, for a couple of quid you kind of can't go wrong really. Got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This is the Beijing 2008. Surprisingly good spin-off, the Sonic and Mario at the Olympics, and I think it depicts many of our childhoods, from the kind of Sonic versus Mario, the Sega Mega Drive versus the Super Nintendo back in the day. I think this is an amazing idea to do things like this, and obviously the Olympics are this year, so maybe we'll have another Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Olympics. We got WarioWare Smooth Move. It says Wario's got a whole new set of moves. Take interactive gaming to a whole new level. Use the Wii remote to bring the party to its feet as you jump, punch, dance and move through over 200 frantic micro games. So that looks cool, just as I'm hearing Molly with a toy out the door. And then of course we have Cursed Mountain. This, believe it or not, was only a couple of quid. I don't know a great deal about this game, but I was told when I put like a kind of memory post out on my Facebook group that Metal Jesus had spoken about this as one of the hidden gems. So that fills me with a little bit of confidence. I love my horror anyway, very much into kind of like deep horror storyline, not so much kind of puzzle-based horror. So I'm hoping to get good things from this. Another surprise find, The Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning. So yeah, I don't, this is one, unfortunately missing manual, but this is one of the Spyro games that I don't believe I have. And I do have quite a few Spyro games on the PS2, but this unfortunately isn't one of those, and I've not played it, so kind of intrigued. Again, I haven't played a bad Spyro game. You know, Spyro oozes charm. You know, great soundtrack, lovely level design, great colour palette. So, you know, I'm kind of like hoping here that I haven't got a bad deal on this. Moving on. All right, this intrigues me. We've got Siren Blood Curse. Paid £12 for this on PS3. This was the only copy in CEX. As you guys can see, this is complete. And I'm very much into my horror. And this obviously being a set, it says here, in a remote Japanese mountain village, a strange ritual ends in bloodshed. A ghostly siren walls. So that's walls or whales? Walls. And for an American film crew trapped on the mountain, a nightmare is unleashed. Steel yourself for a terrifying ordeal as you fight to stay alive against the savage Shibalto, if I've pronounced that wrong. Right. So this, again, I'm kind of like, I was very much into Deadly Prem. Again, I love my horror, like I mentioned, like with like the Cursed Mountain here. So yeah, this has kind of generally had good feedback, good vibes, as I've heard a lot of people talk about this over the years. So hopefully getting some good time sank into this over the next couple of weeks. Apparently, in a charity shop retro game hunt episode I did recently, I missed a copy of Blur. So on your recommendation, guys, yes, okay, I paid £5 for it, and yeah, so it's complete. I picked it up, you know, because everybody was like, dude, Gem has just missed this off the shelf, and this, it just looks like it's a racing game, isn't it? I mean, I haven't played it. It's probably not one I would have picked up. This is purely off my viewer recommendations. So I hope you guys have clutched up for me with this, because if not, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I may even need to replace the case actually, because it is like the plastic on it's just a little bit battered. Luckily we got manual, and like I said, £5. So yeah, I've paid over the charity shop odds, but you know what? I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely fine. This is also a community recommendation. I finally picked up a copy of Lollipop Chainsaw. Again, missing manual, so I was actually really gutted about that. There was another copy of this in the shop, but it said across it reprinted cover, so I probably could have got the manual with that. I didn't want a reprinted cover, so I kind of settled on an original cover, but missing manual. And my knowledge of this is a kind of like a 0.01 out of 10. Again, these are purely off your recommendations, so I do listen to you guys, and I do read the comments, and I do, you know, read my tweets. So let's hope between these three, got some good stuff going, and we'll continue. All right, surprisingly, my kind of Dreamcast collection is kind of wedged in down here. Unfortunately, my Dreamcast doesn't take pride of place here in the Lady Lounge, but Daytona USA 2001 is finally parking itself into the collection. It wheel spun into the game room last weekend, and I paid £35 for this. Yes, you might think that that's quite a bit of dosh, but I do my research and I do use eBay just to give me a benchmark of pricing, and I was seeing this for like £49.99 upwards, so this is in bloody good condition. It is complete, and it kind of like partnered Sega Rally for me in terms of like the memories I have with this. This for me definitely has a way more arcadey feel, and I do prefer the kind of colour palette over something like Sega Rally, which, don't get me wrong, I do absolutely love, but this bad boy, there's just something magical about Daytona. So now here, earlier on in this episode, I mentioned a bit of a hidden gem with a PS4 game, and I picked up Moonlighter. It was actually Jess that clocked this. This was only £8. And if you look on the back of this, it's kind of like a top-down dungeon crawler, dungeon adventure game, very similar to like the likes of Link to the Past, based on what I'm kind of looking at. Beautiful pixel art, really nice character design, and like I said, guys, I paid £8 for this. Now, this is a multi-platform game, and today, no joke, on one of the Facebook groups I follow, I saw this for sale on the Switch for $29.99. So it's definitely holding its price on some platforms, but if you do want a copy of this, I would suggest going to kind of do your research on Moonlighter and know that in CEX you can get this for £8. This was the only copy, so I'm guessing they're quite obscure to pick up, so good luck with that. Now, again, if you watch the recent double challenge of the £5 retro game challenge, I picked out, when it wasn't part of the challenge, Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins for a tenner. Solid game. Like Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins, like so difficult to play, and I genuinely struggled to get past the first couple of levels. And there is a really interesting blog on my website actually by Ben Ray, who guest blogged after he completed it on the Super Nintendo on the hardest difficulty going. So juicygamereviews.com, go and pick out the blog on there. It's on the front page as well if you want to kind of read some of Ben's crazy adventures. He really is a retro god. And then two more PSP games. Got a collector's edition of Gran Turismo with a really nice slipcase, never seen that before. Spoken a lot about Gran Turismo in one of the recent episodes I did with the Essential PS2 Game Buying Guide. So it's actually, like I said, never seen this on with the slipcase. It's really nice. It's just set here, collector's edition featuring, if you're wondering, the Bugatti Veyron car in collector's colour and 5 limited edition Bugatti Veyron art cards, which I don't know if I have. I don't really care, just think the slipcase was really cool. And then finally, another PSP game, we have Myst. There are no instructions and you encounter no living beings, but soon you realise your actions may help individuals who are somehow trapped in a parallel dimension. Now, I remember Myst coming out. I would have lived with my dad. I probably was around like 13 years of age, and it was in one of the old PC gaming stores, Gordon Harwood Computers, if you're familiar with Alfreton at all. And they used to have a lot of posters of this up. I've never actually played it, so, you know, I thought for a couple of quid on the PSP, I'm going in for a little bit of Myst. Okay, that was a really enjoyable gaming, a retro gaming haul to kind of get through and share with you good people. If you are new here, make sure you wallop that subscribe button. If you're kind enough and you want to support content where I'm out and about way more, then hit that join link, and for £1.99 a month, you can have lots of different perks. Just click the link and it will explain everything to you. There's no pressure to purchase. Subscribing will always be free. And on that note, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day. My name is Gemma. Catch you in the next one. See you.